Welcome back to New Zealand. This week we're at Houhora, which is right up the top of the North Island and about 6 hours drive out of Auckland. Now this place is fishing mecca and it's the perfect place to stage an Australia versus New Zealand fishing competition. In the red corner we have Sam Connolly, owner of a Surtees 5.5 Workmate. Sam's got a pretty good reputation around these parts. Some even call him the next Matt Watson. Don't let Sam's rough and ready ride fool you. This guy has caught more monster fish than the captain has had warm meals. And in the blue corner, there's me. Sorry, Australia. So the plan was to go sword fishing, but the weather's been a bit iffy, so we're gonna do snapper on the first day and swords on the next. Let's see who takes away the title. I'm also the judge, so it's probably gonna be me.
My name's Sam Connolly. I live in Auckland and I work at the wastewater treatment plant. In my spare time, I go fishing. Been doing it most of my life and on the chase of trying to catch a bigger and bigger fish. I'd love to get to the heights of Matt Watson. Probably need to upgrade my boat and get some better electronics. I think that might be a good start. I don't know, I just enjoy doing it. Try to learn new things and try better myself at fishing. Yeah, one day, Matt. The weather wasn't the best, so we decided that we'd stay inshore, collect a few baits and that for our sword trip, and then went snapper fishing. Jack thought something was up right from the get-go. I was running the 6-inch curly tail with a larger jig head on it. And yeah, I tried to con him that this was the power baits caught lots of big fish. He was definitely skeptical. I dropped a good fish right at the start of the trip. The hook just pulled on it, it happens. And then caught a couple of others. And then Jack decided he'd change over and put on the big curly tail, and not long after hooked onto a thumper of a fish. Shallow water, 10 metres of water, and put up an epic fight, Put up a good scrap, and that popped up. I think it was 82 centimetres long and built like a brick. That's a trophy in anyone's standard. So yeah, well done on that. Pretty hard fish to beat. Realising this was a good fish and it was an Australian-New Zealand competition, I did a dodgy manoeuvre there, and the line may have touched the bow and the fish may have been on the other side of the boat there for a bit. Oh no, he's under the front, hey? I can go for a hard reverse. Hard reverse?
Yeah, right in. Yeah, nice. Let's hand down forward.
But realising we needed a fish for the photo shoot, we put into reverse and got you on the right side. Yeah, got the fish in the net. Yeah, what a ripper of a fish, eh? And especially get out of the shallows too. So I think we're in about 10 metres when you hooked onto that. So yeah, epic fish. It'd be over 20 pounds. Awesome lump on its head. I actually have scales so we can measure it. But yeah, and awesome on the soft bait, yeah. How much nicer is it catching it?
How funny was that fight? We were backing down like it was a marlin.
Yeah. Just trying to stay on top of it, so it didn't go to ground. And then after that, I tried as hard as I could to beat it. But yeah, an 82 centimetre fish. People fish their whole life to catch a snapper over 20 pounds, and that one would have been well over 20 pounds. 80 centimetres is the general rule of thumb. For a snapper over 20 pounds, but that was 82 and thick in the shoulders with a nice hump, so it would have been, so it was a bloody good fish. The bait and burley session was quite slow, but the fish were quite decent. We sort of plucked a few here and there, about I think the biggest might have been 10 pounds or 12 pounds, and then right towards the end we ended up getting another one that was just shy of 75 centimetres. Oh, here we go. Big one. Oh, this is a dog. That's also a good fish. That'd be over 15 pounds. So a pretty good inshore session, really. Like, I think you still got me. I don't know. I think it's probably a 70 centimetre fish, not an 80. I came up with 3 other mates, so there's 4 of us. We stayed on the other side of the bay at a place called Karikari Peninsula, and we hooked up on a swordfish at about 10 to 4, 3 days ago now, or 4 days ago. Short fight on the Penn International, 20 minutes. We headed to the boat, Mate Damo held on to the leader and did an awesome job, and the fish ended up pulling the hook, but it covered us in water. It was throwing water everywhere. It was epic. The call was made to put the gaff in it right at the end, but I think we were all pretty happy that it pulled the hook and earned its freedom. It put on a bloody good show. If you've caught a swordfish before, you know that they're just an epic fish. Once you've caught one, you just want to catch more. So yeah, that put me in high hopes for our trip out there. Got up reasonably early, maybe 6 a.m. the next day, and then shot out wide. We fished most of the morning on the spot where we'd hooked the swordfish 2 days prior, and it was really slow. We even dropped baits down on ledge rigs to try target bottom species, and they just weren't getting touched. So we were fishing a canyon, comes in like a big tongue. So we changed sides and we fished the inside of it for a bit. It was pretty quiet in there as well. Managed to get a shark on the electric reel. It was, I think it's a big taupe or some deep water species. So we moved out to a little piece of rubble again after that, which was 500 and just over 500 metres. Put a bait down there and let it soak for an hour or so, and still not a touch. I guess that's fishing. Yeah, that hooker reel, I wanted to load it up. It would have been great to see it loaded up. It's a pretty impressive piece of kit. If you're really targeting swords hard out and you're doing lots of drops and you're fishing, especially if you're fishing, you want to be fishing on a bank or in a canyon and you're sort of drifting off it and you need to do multiple drops and reset. Having something like that saves you a lot of winding, because it's hard work dropping your bait down 500 metres to fish for 20 minutes, to wind it back up again, to reset, drop it again. The hooker electric reel will do that for you. I teamed up with Penn. I've been fishing their gear now probably 3 years, and it's changed my fishing drastically. Penn International, I love it. It's probably my favourite combo, especially for catching big fish. It's a beast of a reel. This model, I think, puts out 28 kilos of drag. I've been using the Fathoms as well. I've only had the Fathoms for about a year. If you pick up one of the Penn Fathom 80s, it's super light. But you can still get 750 metres of 80-pound braid on it. I'm using Penn Slammer braid and then running 50 metres of 24 kilo top shot, and puts out 22 kilos of drag as well. So it's capable of catching just about anything in the ocean, but half the weight of the big goldies. So yeah, and then soft baiting, I'm fishing with a Regiment Black Ops rod, 7'2", and on the Penn Slammer, I use the 3500. Also use Penn Slammer, 30-pound braid, and normally 30-pound fluorocarbon. I don't even know how many big snapper I've caught on that. Yeah, like most trips, you get a trophy fish, so it's epic gear. I'm using the Spinfisher 6500 live liner. I'm using 50-pound Penn Slammer braid, and because we're in the far north, I'm actually using a 100-pound leader. I normally run 80 or 100-pound when we're up here. Just so the big snapper can't bite through the leader. This is the 5.5 metre Surtees Workmate. You know, this thing's built like a tank for a little boat. There's not a lot you can break on them. There's no frills or bits and pieces to damage or bend, so no, it's perfect for what I need. Surtees was ingenious in a lot of his systems. So they have a deep V, which makes them a little bit tippy at rest. So they have a flooding keel system. It's pretty much just a triangle shape that runs up the centre of the keel. And then it has a flap at the back with a rubber seal. So you just pull a string on the back, and there's a little mechanical system that pulls the flap shut, and you can hold the water inside. I'm not too sure exactly what the leaderage of this one is, but yeah, by holding that water there, you have more weight down low, so it gives you better stability. The pop top, in the morning, like especially on the hard top, the windscreen's all fogged up and it's really hard to see. With this one, you can push the top up and it opens up and you've got a little gap to see through. And then if you get caught in a big sea or you start getting wet, you can pull it down and it changes into like a semi-hard top, which I think is a pretty clever feature. Yeah, it had 70 hours on the 92 stroke. It was a 2008 and it's been bloody awesome. I've been on some big trips with it already. Yeah, the smell brings back some good memories. I don't know how many miles we did in it yesterday, probably 50 odd miles, maybe 60 miles in it yesterday, and performed flawlessly. So a bit smoky at times, but no, it's good. So we're in Houhora. It's just about like the fishing mecca of New Zealand, on the east coast. The second to most northern harbour. I try to come up here at least a few times a year to get out and spend a week chasing fish up here. This is where fish of a lifetime is caught.